Which is the best stock to buy, Amazon or Salesforce? I'm going to answer that question in this video. I'm going to compare the two growth stocks across 4 different metrics, and I'm going to answer by the end of the video which one is the better stock to buy. So let's get into it. You're not going to want to miss out on this. Starting with quarterly revenue, we look at the difference here and we see the magnitude of scale that Amazon dominates revenue with is at 149 billion in revenue in its most recent quarter compared to just 8.38 billion in revenue for Salesforce. It's hard to make a company look small that makes 8.3 billion in revenue. That's a big number, but Amazon makes that look small by earning 149 billion in revenue in its most recent quarter. And it's been growing rapidly over the years as Amazon has expanded to new businesses carrying more items in more industries, and it's just evolving into more and more. As I like to say, it started from a small bookseller and now it's the everything store. It sells everything. The next metric I wanted to compare these two on is the cash flow from operations to sales over the trailing 12 months. I want to see, we already saw the sales that each of these companies generates, right? Now I want to see how good each of these companies are at turning those sales into cash flow from operations. And looking at this metric, we start to see Salesforce taking an advantage here, turning 22.68% of sales into cash flow from operations, while Amazon is at just 9.1% turning that. So Salesforce much better at converting sales into cash flow than Amazon is. The next thing that was interesting to look at was the operating profit margin over the trailing 12 months. According to this metric, again, Salesforce ending with a advantage over Amazon. Amazon's trailing 12-month operating profit margin was just 2.38% compared to 5.93% for Salesforce. And if you look back at Salesforce from 2014, you can draw a nice upward line here showing great progress in its operating profit margin expansion. Amazon, not so much, right? You look at the start to finish, not a very uh, large scale increase in terms of operating profit margin. Yes, in the aftermath of the pandemic, its operating margin boosted near 6%, but that was temporary and unsustainable, and it was a result of the soaring demand from customers for um, online shopping that was unprecedented and unlikely to repeat itself unless there's another pandemic of similar nature. So, in this metric, again, Salesforce has the advantage. So finally, I wanted to look at their valuation, and I chose to use the forward price to earnings ratio. And according to this metric, Amazon is significantly more expensive at 67.5 forward PE, while Salesforce is at a forward PE of 25.84 and near the lowest it has sold for in the last couple of years, according to this metric. Amazon's earnings are going to be constrained over the next several quarters. The company is trying to cut costs and make progress on profitability. It overinvested during the pandemic because it experienced that surge in demand and it didn't want to have customers experience slower delivery times or a lot of out of stock items. So it really overinvested in capacity to make sure that it could at least sustain a strong level of customer satisfaction. I mean, there were still a lot of delayed orders and out of stock, but it just wasn't that much because they invested so much money into their logistics capacity. Salesforce too is making moves, announcing layoffs and cost cuts to improve profitability, but it's trading at such a significant discount to Amazon. If I was choosing, if I wanted to buy one of these two stocks today, I would be buying. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now. Be buying Salesforce stock today. It's the better value at this point for the price, right? Because it's significantly less expensive than Amazon. So that's all I've got for this video. As always, I truly appreciate your viewership. You've got videos popping up right now that I've hand selected that I think you'll enjoy. So please click on one of those and I'll see you over there.